Hello, hello, hello. This is Tony McGraven coming to you from Chicago. As usual, we've got fun stuff. It's mostly Alyssa's fault, but we got a little bit from Brecken. The opening part, it's good. It's good stuff. Mr. Dick's hands are full. Let's let's do this, people. I hope you have some cocktails.
Have you already checked in?
Okay, thank you.
They should see the prompt.
Is it me, officer, or judge?
Do you have a shirt on, sir?
I can put one on.
Listen, don't do that. I don't understand why you can't. You coming in here without a shirt.
Now I had my robe on. I was in the bathroom. I wasn't
I
anticipating.
don't even know all that.
Can we do this today, Your Honor? My health is in jeopardy right now.
What's up?
I have IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, and what's been going on?
Very stressful.
I'm bleeding inside, ma'am.
All right, the next matter is State of Michigan versus Julianne Solis. It's filed 20.
Okay, I have to stop it. The fact that first knucklehead thought that telling the judge I had my robe on and I was in the bathroom was going to make it better. I thought Judge Perkins was going to cry. Oh, we're off to a start.
25-43560-FY, set for sentencing.
Your Dick on behalf of Ms. Solis.
I do see Ms. Solis is here as well. Looks like we had a plea on June the 5th to retail fraud in the second degree, count 4. Counts 1 through 3 were to be dismissed, and there's $317.37 for restitution to Walmart. And we set out the sentencing for today when counsel would be available.
Yes.
Any other housekeeping before we proceed to sentencing?
No.
That I gave Ms. Milligan, I'm assuming bacterial vaginosis.
All right, Mr. Fortier, is there anything else that you want to state on behalf of the prosecution, or is there any other information from the victim?
Judge, just that the total amount that was actually stolen from Walmart was $1,077.28. However, $759.91 of that was recovered and resaleable, which is why the restitution is only the $317.37. I just wanted to note that it was over $1,000 that was stolen between November 18th, 2024 and March 7th of 2025. I think that's a pretty significant amount. So I would just ask the court to take that into consideration when it's fashioning a sentence.
I appreciate that. Mr. Dick, as to allocution, your thoughts?
Yes, Your Honor. So, Ms. Solis, she's been dealing with chronic health issues for more than 23 years. That she's been dealing with surgeries on top of surgeries and other conditions that have prevented her from working. She's her child's father that used to be able to contribute. He did pass away.
Meaning she was bleeding out of her hoo-ha.
A number of years ago. She also lost her father a couple years ago. She can't maintain work.
Okay, losing your father sucks. That's undeniable. That's bad, but it's no excuse for this. Everyone tries this crap.
She is under the constant care of a physician. She's on medication constantly. Some of it does affect her mental, her ability to rationalize in general. A letter was submitted to the prosecutor during the plea negotiations from her doctor. I do not know that probation submitted that to the court, though.
I do not have that.
Okay. Would you, Mr. Fortier, would you be okay if I were to send that over?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. All right.
Email it to Mr. Horrigan.
Yes, Your Honor.
He can then hand it to me in court.
Okay. So this particular incident, Miss Elise had some items in her purse, I believe is what she ended up being caught with. Much of it was nutritional supplements. She did have some makeup in there. Just the basis of everything that she's been going through, like physically and health-wise, all these surgeries and everything.
Coochie. Gotcha.
In public, but maybe one time a month. She brushes to get out of stores. She did admit the responsibility to taking these items, but just again, I'm going to reiterate, they're items that were something she used in her.
Is Mr. Dick crying? Seriously? I can't tell. I mean that as an honest question. He looked like he was getting choked up, but then he seems to be in possession of himself. Is he buying his own BS right now?
Daily life to try to stay healthy, try to hide the issues that she's had due to all the illness and medical procedures. And forgive me, I'm going to send this letter to you right now. Be going through.
Mr. Dick, I'm not hearing anything that you're saying at the moment.
My apologies. I was just saying that Miss Elise, she has been on a plethora of medications throughout the years. One of them,
I think he's just mid-hearing, and I could be wrong. Tell me if you guys read it this way. I think mid-hearing, he just paused himself. He just muted himself and started giving his assistant instructions on some other file. I really think that's what happened.
For 17 and a half years before all of a sudden that medication being stopped. She does have some issues that she is aware of that she needs to continue to address that specifically pertain to her ability to function on a day-to-day basis. Some of that would likely be addressed through perhaps some sort of a mental health counseling, but then also part of it's going to be through the medication aspect of it. Now, all of this does not negate the fact that she had taken items from a store. But we are asking that the court understands that she doesn't have a job. She's unable to work physically. She has never been in trouble before this, even though there are the previous incidents that Mr. Fortier had mentioned. She's never even had a speeding ticket.
She was good at it. I mean, she's been stealing for a long time. But it's over. She got caught.
Her
Yeah, I'd play my Jane's Addiction clip, but I can't.
son sells everything that is not nailed down at their house to try to help his mom pay the bills and make ends meet. She does receive minimal social assistance. With that in mind, Your Honor, we are asking that the court would consider a short probationary period and allow her to repay the restitution. As far as fines and costs go, we would ask that they be minimized. As we mentioned, she doesn't have really any way to work or even to perform necessarily community service. But of course, we'll
That might be good for the thumbnail. I'm not going to lie.
leave that to the discretion of the court on how to address it.
All right, Ms. Solis, you also have the right to address me and make any statements that you want me to be aware of concerning your circumstances prior to the imposition of sentence. And just to let you know, Mr. Dick, I have received the letter that you emailed over from the provider, Molly Zubel, from the East Jordan Family Health Center, dated May 20.
Oh, sweet Jesus. What?
Ms. Solis, is there anything else that you want me to know?
Yes. Before I say anything, I currently have a really bad UTI. I'm on antibiotics, and it messes with my brain. So in case I misspeak, it's really hard for me to focus. So I've had health problems since I was a little kid.
I'm doing them all.
It got a lot worse when my son's dad passed away. And I've been going to countless doctors.
Anxiety leads to constipation.
I'm playing them all.
Of all kinds to try to get better. They can't do anything for me. My only hope is to find some type of natural, a natural doctor.
If you didn't know, y'all stink. Okay, that's just my opinion.
And I've tried as many as I could, but I can't afford really anything anymore. So my dad passed away last year. He had cancer for years, and my son and I were taking care of him. I worked so hard to get rid of his cancer. It was supposed to be terminal. We ended up getting rid of the cancer. But because his body was so weak that it couldn't fight off infections anymore, and his antibiotics wouldn't work. So he became septic and passed away after everything. And so before that, I was taking care of him with my son. I've gotten a lot worse since he passed. And I had a little bit of money from him to be able to pay bills for a little while, and then it's gone now. So my son doesn't have anybody besides me. So if something happens to me, because I have many problems and I get recurring UTIs, and the doctor told me years ago that I am going to become immune to antibiotics, and then the same thing is going to happen to me. I'll just go septic and die. So I'm scared to death that something's going to happen to me, and I'm going to leave my son. And so I'm just trying to get better to be able to take care of my family. And I'm sorry.
You're all right.
As far as the saying that it happened multiple times, because of my brain fog, the problems with my brain, because of the medication that I've been on, it did something to my brain. I don't know. People are not supposed to get off of it. after being on it for so long, one specific medication, I've been on so many. And it really messed it up really bad. And so I only leave the house once every month and a half, whenever I.
Mm-hmm. She took a medication and then she forgot what, the difference between right and wrong. Come on.
I'm physically able to go get groceries or I go to the doctor because I'm so sick and in so much pain that I can't leave my house. So I really try quickly to go through the store. I buy in bulk. So I buy multiple quantities of each item. And so I'll scan, like if I have 5 things, I'll take one and then go over the scanner. I mean, it beeps, and then if there's a problem, an associate will come up. And so I'm honestly so confused about that it happened, they said 3 times. I did not do that on purpose. I try not to even go in the store. I've been just ordering my groceries, and if I do have to go in the store, I
didn't know that it was the 2 rugs that were together.
Oh, bullshit.
Stand in line and go through the line because I don't want to make another mistake like that again. I didn't realize that. The stuff in my purse, I'm an idiot. I'm trying to get supplements and to be able to not die, literally. I was wrong. It's not an excuse whatsoever. And I am mortified. Like Mr. Dick said, I've never got a speeding ticket. I've never had a parking ticket. I try really hard to obey the law and do well in my life as much as I can and help people. It will never happen again. And I apologize. Yeah, I apologize.
Okay. I'm going to take you at your word, ma'am. It seems to me like you've got enough problems on your plate. You don't need anybody else doing anything for you to make it worse. However, don't let it happen again, because at some point you are going to be responsible for this. So I'm going to assume that this was the medication talking. This was mostly a mistake. And
you've got to be kidding me. I know you feel sorry for her, but no way. No way. Does she need to go to prison for life? Probably not. But do not indulge this, Judge. Do not. I know you don't believe it and you're pretending to be nice, but that's not helping anybody.
I mean, I understand where Mr. Fortier's coming from, that $1,000 was taken from the store. They may believe it's not as much of a mistake as you're thinking that it is. But here's my bottom line. You've got bigger fish to fry. You got bigger problems to deal with than this. You don't need any additional issues for your son to have to worry about or for you to have to worry about. An easy fix to the problem of the checkout is to order online and to pay for it online. And that way that you get exactly what you ordered. You don't have to worry about going in the store. You can get it if you need it. Send your son in, however you need to deal with it. There are people out there, many agencies in town that will assist you if you need assistance for food, if you need assistance for utilities, if you need assistance with transportation, all of those things. But you have to ask. So don't be too proud. Ask for the help that you need. But let's not have this problem again. I'm going to do something that I probably rarely do. I'm just going to give you the minimum fines and costs, and I'm going to say that's it. I'm not going to put you on probation. I'm not going to do anything else. However, the court computer system has a really long memory, and if you come back, you're not going to get this again. You understand what I'm saying to you?
I promise you will not see me again.
All right. There's a crime victim fee of $75. There's a justice assessment of $50. I'm going to reduce court cost of $50, fine to $25, and local fee to $15. That's $215. How long do you think it's going to take you to be able to have to pay that?
Can I have, I have to sell some things. Can I have 2 to 3 weeks?
I can give you 30 days. If you can pay that off in 30 days, and I don't have to put you on probation, it won't cost you any more money.
Okay, I will figure it out. Thank you so much.
Normally, I would send you to an economic crimes class. I would put you on probation. I would monitor your medications. I would do all those sorts of things. But I'm going to not do that in this case because I want you to understand that people do care, number one, but I also want you to take some responsibility for this. I understand that you're in pain. I understand that you have medical issues, but that does not excuse taking other people's stuff. Okay? So I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt this time. Just don't let it happen again, ma'am. You understand?
I promise it will never happen again.
All right. That's the order of the court today. Good luck to you, ma'am. I hope I don't see you again.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I'm going to hold the speaker because I don't know how he's going to react.
Okay.
I had to bite my tongue on that last clip. I knew what happened, and I was shocked when I saw it, but I didn't want to say anything.
Mr. Woods?
Hang on 1 second, Your Honor. We got to open up the... Mr. Woods, come up here. The judge.
All right. This is 251790, the People versus Richard Anthony Woods. Mr. Woods, can you tell me your name, please?
Richard Anthony Woods.
Okay, Mr. Woods, you're charged here with 1 count of carrying a concealed weapon. The allegation is on June 17th of 2025 at the property of 20336 Superior in the city of Taylor. You did carry a dangerous weapon, to wit, a revolver, concealed on or
We have a theme. I didn't even plan it.
About your person, contrary to MCL 750227. That is a felony punishable by up to 5 years in jail and or $2,500 and mandatory forfeiture of the weapon. Mr. Woods, do you understand you have a right to an attorney, and if you could not afford one, I would appoint one?
I understand my rights as an attorney, and I understand the rights that you said, but I understand what you said as an attorney.
Okay, well, let me say this before you say anything else, okay? Mr. Woods, but you have to, listen to me first. Mr. Woods, Mr. Woods, I need you to understand something before you say anything to me. Please, I'm being very patient. Mr. Woods, you have a right to remain, okay, I'm gonna mute him. Sir, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney, and you have a right to have that attorney present during any future questioning and any future court hearings. And if you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. And I am going to sign a form for a court-appointed attorney to be appointed on your case. And you can make your decision later on, but I do think it's best for today's date that we at least have someone appointed for your next 2 court hearings. You have 2 dates within the next 21 days. The first is your probable cause conference, and that is set to occur on June 30th of 2025. And you can appear at that via Zoom. Following that, you have a preliminary exam. On that exam date, the prosecutor will have to show that a crime was committed and probable cause exists to charge you with that crime. And that will be in person at the 23rd District Court on July 7th of 2025, sir. Now, you have a right to meet with an attorney today if you wanted to. And it's my understanding, Mr. Woods, that you did not want to meet with a lawyer.
Well,
I
really didn't think I need one because Rankins USA has given me my CCW. And they have confirmed that.
Okay, well, that's not what I have in front of me, sir. Do you want to talk to Mr. Fanto?
Yeah, I'll talk to him.
Okay. I'm going to get the file to Mr. Fanto and we'll get you in a room so you can talk to him.
Excuse me?
Taylor PD will get you. Mr. Fanto is going to,
Go back to Polycom.
Yeah, go back to Polycom with Mr. Fanto. And Miss Isaac, I see your comments. I understand. And Mr. Fanto, just so you're aware, there is a family member that's in Zoom and she has made some comments regarding the mental health of the defendant here. So
that is false.
Okay. Oh, we'll get 1 second. You can talk to Mr. Fanto, okay?
The message came across that screen.
All right, I'll meet you in Polycom.
Thanks.
I want to dumber down the ticket. Like I want to fight that.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. All right, we're back on record with Richard Anthony Woods. So I've signed the request for a court-appointed attorney. Mr. Woods, you have 2 court dates within the next 21 days. The first is your probable cause conference. That'll be June 30th. And you can appear at that via Zoom. Following that, you'll have a preliminary exam where the prosecutor has to show that a crime was committed and probable cause exists to charge you with that crime. And that will be on July 7th of 2025. Mr. Fanto, anything?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jeffrey Fanto on behalf of Mr. Woods. And I'm sure, although I didn't bring it up with him, I'm sure it would be on his, over his objection, but I would ask the court refer this matter for competency in all aspects. Obviously, mark the file medical.
I'm marking the file medical mental. I'm referring for competency. And the problem is this is a 5-year felony, but the allegations, which are just allegations, but there's certainly allegations that I need to take into consideration when setting bond. And the allegations are that Mr. Woods was written up at work and went up to work with a revolver in his pocket that was fully loaded, and he had multiple loose ammunition in his pocket. And I mean, this, you know, these allegations are particularly concerning. This could have been a tragedy had one thing gone wrong. And I do think that that is something that, an allegation that needs to be taken into consideration while determining bond on a case, even though the only charge in the complaint and warrant is a 5-year felony for carrying a concealed weapon. And there were also some allegations of conduct that just occurred over at the jail that's also incredibly concerning to this court. So I'm setting a $25,000 cash or surety bond with a GPS tether. Sir, you're to appear in court as directed. You're not to leave the state without permission of the court. You're not to commit any new crimes while released. You're to immediately notify the court of change of address or phone number. You cannot have any contact with 20336 Superior. And what is the name of the business there? Dearborn Midwest Company. You cannot have any contact with Dearborn Midwest, I'm sorry, company. You can't go there. You cannot have any contact with any employees of that location or the owner or employer. Sir, you cannot possess or have access to firearms or other dangerous weapons. You cannot consume alcohol or illegal drugs. You may be subject to testing on demand. You will be fashioned with a GPS tether. You will have a curfew from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. if you are able to make bond. And those are the conditions of your bond, sir. Do you have any other requests, Mr. Fanto?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Woods, we'll see you back next week, but I am putting in a competency referral, but we'll have an attorney here for you at that time. Okay? Thank you.
What happened to the 17th? I was supposed to go to court.
The 30th and March 30, or I'm sorry, June 30th. So that's not this Monday coming up, but the Monday after that. And then July 7th. Those are your two court dates, and I'll see you on both of those dates.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay.
You too.
Thank you, Officer.
Sorry.
Well, there you have it. Thank you, Alyssa and Brecken. I tried yesterday. There was nothing, and I couldn't find anything today either. But then those came through. I don't know. The UTI case was pretty good. Mr. Dick on the verge of tears. This horrible, horrible UTI defense, and the judge buys it. Although he actually doesn't buy it, he pretends to buy it, which I think is actually worse. I can imagine just giving her a break, but I'd be like, you have to come clean. You can't blame these. You can't use these excuses. You just can't do it. I'm not accepting it as a judge. Period. End of statement. Not dealing with it. I saw O'Donnell do this. I have a video on it. He's like, you gotta get away from this BS story, and then I'll be nice to you. But I can't if you persist in this. If you just say, I'm sorry, I did bad things, and I don't have justification for it, I could do exactly what the judge did based upon that. But if you're telling me that you had a UTI and your head was foggy, you're going to jail. That's it. That's how I see it. All right. Thank you all for coming out. I'm sending you over to Biggin. He's probably going to start in a minute. Behave yourselves. It's Friday. You know I'm not bailing you out.